Hi, my name's Joanna Dolan, and I'm a person in long-term recovery. And I'm doing this video because I wanted to be very clear that I'm a voter and that I support the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act. And the reason I support the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act is because as an alcoholic and a drug addict, I am not a criminal. And I'm taking a really long pause here because I want you to hear, I am not a criminal. And neither is anybody else who has this disease of addiction. We are sick people who deserve to get well. And it's high time that people stopped asking us, what's wrong with you? We know what's wrong with us. It's addiction. And we need help. You know, I'm also a cancer survivor, and I have to tell you that as a cancer survivor, the question that people asked me when I was first diagnosed with cancer wasn't what's wrong with you. It was, what's so good about you that's worth saving? You know, that's the question that I had to ask myself, is what's so good about me that's worth saving? And that's the question that as alcoholic and drug addict, we should all be asking, is what's so good about us that's worth saving? And that's exactly why I support the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act. And I've got a list of all the things that it does so that you don't have to go wondering what this act is and what it's about or any of that. So let's just 2 minutes, not even 30 seconds. It provides $80 million in funding for prevention, treatment, and recovery. It launches an evidence-based opioid and heroin treatment and intervention program. We do have services and medications that can treat addiction, but there's a critical need to get that training and the resources out into our hands, just normal everyday people's hands, so that we can help stop this epidemic. We can strengthen prescription drug monitoring programs to help states monitor and track prescription drug and to help at-risk individuals get services they so desperately need. It expands prevention and educational efforts, particularly at teens, their parents, and their other caretakers, as well as the aging population, because it's kids and the elderly that are really getting smacked with all of this opioid addiction problem right now. It expands recovery supports for students in high school or enrolled in institutions of higher learning. In other words, it says that we're not going to criminalize you for having been busted with marijuana or having been busted with some other mood-altering substances. We're going to treat you like you need to be treated and give you the hands up that you deserve. It expands and develops community-based recovery services in communities across the country. It expands the availability of naloxone to law enforcement agents and other first responders to help in the reversal of overdoses to save lives. I can't tell you how many of my friends I've buried because of this disease, and this piece of legislation is a huge help. It expands resources to identify and treat incarcerated individuals suffering from addiction disorders promptly by collaborating with criminal justice stakeholders and providing evidence-based treatment. And it expands disposal sites for unwanted prescription medications to keep them out of the hands of children and adolescents. Addicts and alcoholics are just like anybody else with a terminal illness. If it's not arrested and it's not treated, we can die. And the question that needs to be asked of us is, what's so good about you that you deserve to be saved? Because all of us are worth saving. And it doesn't matter if the diagnosis is addiction or if the diagnosis is cancer. We can beat this. So my name's Joanna Dolan, and I support the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act.